last thing we need are new areas of uncertainty, instability and division.
Bad for Scotland, bad for the people of Scotland, bad for business in Scotland.
When the solid world of everyday reality disintegrates and the whole population is driven by fear towards insanity.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
Well, personally, I think that war is unforeseeable.
No, you do not think that. He did not say unforeseeable. You may have heard him say that, but he did not say that.
Misinformation, mudslinging, smears, spin, corruption, backroom deals, headline grabbing, soundbites, sleaze. Of all the freedoms we enjoy, one of the most problematic is the freedom to persuade and suggest. Or, in other words, propaganda.
Propaganda made this picture.
Propaganda skillfully employed to turn millions of men to a cruel hatred of their fellow men. On the other hand, propaganda often persuades us to help our fellow men.
The reality is that there's no such thing as a balanced, unbiased presentation of the facts, and anyone who tells you that that's what they're offering are lying. And that might not sit comfortably, but hey.
That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is.
Given how depressing it is to be Scottish, especially in a recession, it was appropriate that the case for the Union was opened with this motivational talk from RBS's favourite politician, Alistair Darling.
The choice we make will be irrevocable. If we decide to leave the United Kingdom, there is no way back. We can't give our children a one-way ticket to a deeply uncertain destination.
But of course, that's the really annoying thing about the future. You can't tell what's going to happen in it.
I've always dreamed of seeing the future, looking beyond my years, seeing the progress of mankind.
The aim of the No campaign, really, is to play on that uncertainty and magnify legitimate fears about the unknown. No one can tell us what Scotland will look like 20 years from now, just as no one can tell us what it will look like 20 minutes from now. It could be riven with inequality, or it might be embroiled in impossible, never-ending conflicts. It could be facing down a housing crisis, suffering the consequences of a casino banking culture, or even dealing with widespread rioting. When you think about it, it's little wonder that the No campaign have had to resort to such extreme claims. After all, to make the possible results of independence look worse than the present state of affairs in the UK, the alternative would have to be pretty terrifying. But that's not the point. You see, we live in a world where the politics of optimism are rare, and in such a world, cynical politicians can exploit people's fears about keeping what they do have. At the same time, the Labour Party under Blair and Brown made no secret of the fact that in a world of international terrorism and rogue states, their own political decisions had to be conducted on the basis of governments preventing the worst-case scenario.
Not a conventional fear about a conventional threat, but the fear that one day these new threats of weapons of mass destruction, rogue states and international terrorism combine to deliver a catastrophe to our world.
But if there's one area in which it's remarkably easy to sow fear and confusion, it's economics. A dark art that is effectively designed for just that purpose.
Onto the money markets. Quick look at the currency kidney. There's a lot of pressure there on the Bundeswechsel, leading to a slight inflammation in the exchange tract, causing a negative flow of waste pounds across all international membranes. So in summary then, Seven's a bit younger.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up.
To most of us, of course, international markets look remarkably like an endless process of speculation and gambling, because, well, they are. Both sides of the independence debate think that a few £100 here or there will make the difference when the referendum is held in 2014. What could be more frightening, after all, than losing your hard-earned cash? Yet, for ordinary Scots, this is not about the obscure intricacies of high finance. It's about having a secure job and a place to live. And let's be honest, the Union's record on those things hasn't been great. Scotland has, of course, been warned against voting for more democracy before.
The basic contention was that Scotland is too poor, the Scots people are too weak, the Scots people are too stupid to do what other economies in the world are managing to do just now.
Famously, Scotland was denied a parliament by the then Labour government despite having voted yes, thus ensuring no protection whatsoever against 11 years of Thatcher's Tory government, who oversaw the dismantling of Scottish industry that brought mass job losses throughout the 1980s, obliterating entire communities and changing forever the face of Scotland.